Welcome back to the show, everybody. Again, it's Wednesday, Pro Wrestling Weekly. We are back with a full show for you tonight. Plenty to talk about. Wrestling absolutely at a peak at the moment. Joining me on the back of last week's show again, Russ is back by popular demand. Russ, how are we, my friend? How's your week?
My week has been fine. Thank you very much. I appreciate you having me on again, and I'm looking forward to talk about all things professional wrestling.
Awesome. And again, at the end of the show, Russ, we'll ask you to drop and let us know your socials and what you're doing and all your Twitch gaming and all that kind of stuff as well, so
That's
people can
fine.
head over there and support you.
That's
As
fine by
always,
me.
folks, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell notification button, and drop a like on the video. Again, I will be back with Darren tomorrow night as well, where we'll be again having a look at the Euros and all things football. But tonight it's pro wrestling all the way. We're going to be doing a review of NXT Battleground, which was absolutely awesome. We're going to be taking a preview of Clash at the Castle and getting Russell's picks for those matches. We're going to be talking lots of stuff. NXT, Ricochet, Noah. We got the whole thing here for you. The only podcast you need to be tuning in for pro wrestling. In the chat, as always, Daz. Big up, Daz. How are you, my friend? Good to see you. Always supporting the podcast. And Eric is in. Big up, Eric. Good to see you, my friend, as well. Glad you can join us. And Daz, of course, big up, Eric. So again, in the chat, folks, if you want to drop anything in there you want us to discuss, or if you have any questions for me or Russ, drop them in there. Feel free. Remember, it's your show and you guys dictate both the pace and also the topics on the day at times. Right, let's begin, Russ. Battleground, NXT Battleground from the UFC Apex. Awesome.
Yes.
I thought the setting was real, old WCW studio style.
Yeah, I did. I said it. I said a lot of people were saying, the arena don't look the right because it always seems like there's 20 people there, but you put NXT in any arena and they will light it up. It will get lit up. Shadows in comparison to any of the UFC shows I've done in that arena.
Yeah, absolutely. And we the first NXT Women's North American Champion was crowned. Kaylani Jordan. What a match. What have you made of Soul Rucker and that Soul Snatcher? Yes, that double one she hit in this match. It's so crisp and it's awesome. Talk to me about
it. See, now I'm going to be honest with you. When it comes to NXT pay-per-views, I haven't really watched a takeover since Gargano. I feel like with NXT, like they have absolutely amazing shows. I can't lie; they have have amazing shows. But for me, the main matches I wanted to watch were the Jordan Grace one and the Ethan Page one. So I didn't really catch a lot of the ladder match. However, for what I have seen, what a fantastic match it was, and an absolute congratulations to the first NXT North American champion. Hopefully, it can live up to the standard that we have of like Adam Cole and Ricochet and Johnny Gargano on the other side with the North American Championship. However, this is only the first one, so it's got to build up prestige, it's got to build up champions, and it's got to build up feuds. Let's just see how it goes, and hopefully, we could be able to put it on the same level as, let's say, Adam Cole is the first North American champion.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll run down quickly through the results then. I see him and Nathan Fraser defeated the OC to retain the NXT Tag Team titles.
Really?
Lola Voice defeated Shayna Baszler in the NXT Underground match. I thought that was a cool concept as well, with no ropes and stuff like that. It was like kind of just like an open mat, like a jiu-jitsu event that you would see and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And it was kind of cool. It was different. So it was kind of cool and stuff like that. And both women absolutely knocked 6 shades out of each other in that match, that's for sure. Oba Femi, did you catch this match? Defeated Wesley and Joe Coffey in a triple threat to retain the NXT North American Championship.
Oba Femi has been an absolute beast.
Oh my God.
He's the next big guy. Like, don't quote me on this, but I think he could be the next Mark Henry. I think he's got this physique, he's got this match type, right? Mark Henry. When I see him, when I think of him, all I think of is the next Mark Henry. This big guy.
I'm thinking more like Lashley with personality, because he definitely has a connection with the audience as well.
He does.
When I seen him picking up the guy for the crossbody, my God! And he picked him up like it was like a carton of milk or something, and just threw him crossbodied across the ring. It was just awesome. But the guy is an absolute monster.
He really is.
One that we spoke about last week, Roxanne Perez defeating Jordan Grace to retain the NXT Women's Championship. I think we knew this was probably going to happen. Really good showing by both girls.
100%. 100%. If this is your first show of Impact, you've got an amazing showcase of the Knockouts division. The Knockouts division has always been amazing, and Jordan Grace, absolutely amazing talent. She's probably heading WWE bound soon. I don't know when, but she's definitely got a future in WWE. I'm not saying maybe in NXT, but WWE bound, yeah, 100%. Put her up against Nia Jax, put her up against Becky Lynch, Rhea Ripley, right? You could definitely get a great match out of her. If Naomi works with her in an Impact, you know she's trustworthy. 100%. Not a big fan of the ending, I do admit. I didn't like the fact that I get they tried to protect her, but it just didn't make sense. We had another debut from the former Dana Brooke. So it's like a re-debut of Dana Brooke.
Yeah.
It's just, I don't know. I feel like it's kind of a promotion for the next pay-per-view as well as like a showcase for this one. So it was a bit meh. I would prefer just a clean match. However, it does suit Roxanne Perez winning that way. And it definitely did help Jordan Grace still kind of remain that dominant. And physique.
Also opens the door for talent maybe to show up on Against All Odds when it comes up this weekend, I think it is, and stuff like that, which we spoke about last week, which would be pretty cool as well. I have to say, when they showed Gail Kim, I popped for it. It was great to see Gail Kim on WWE TV again, wasn't it? It was really, really cool.
It was really good. I do like Gail Kim.
I also thought as well, I was unsure at the start when they did the opening segment. Remember when the camera did the walkthrough and it showed all the Ultimate Fighter jerseys in the corridor, and then it came to the door into the Apex, and there was just this little sign over the door saying NXT Battleground. It was real WCW stuff. It just really felt like WCW down in Disney or Universal or whatever it was. You know, it was mad.
Yeah.
And then we got to the main event, which I thought was Trick Williams defeating Ethan Page to retain the NXT Championship. Ethan Page is hot as hell at the moment, isn't he?
He truly is. He truly is. And there's a segment that happened in NXT, which I will discuss later. But Ethan Page right now, coming off of the AEW stint that he had, absolutely amazing wrestler. Just the reveal of him being in there is just fantastic. And I can't wait to see what he actually does later on. Trick Williams defeating him was the good call because the era of Trick is amazing. I'm a big Trick Williams fan. I feel like he's got such a great connection with the crowd, and I feel like he's a great champion who's now finally stepping out the shadow of Carmelo Hayes. And I've got really, really big hopes for him, not in the future of NXT, but also in the future of the WWE.
Yeah, and I suppose let's keep with the NXT before we go to Clash of the Castle and the other stuff. Obviously, we had NXT there, and Cody showed up. And I thought it was really cool where he bumped into the three boys, of course, all ex-AEW boys, and he goes, good to see you found a happy place or something like that. You know, which is kind of cool. And then I thought giving over the mask as well and taking the mask out of the brown bag, the dashing kind of thing and all was really cool as well. And
I feel like given the opportunity, Cody could become like the next Dusty for NXT. Like, truly, I think when his career is said and done, he'll be like, right, I'm going to stay. I'm going to continue my father's legacy. I will help build NXT, and I'll help build the next generation of stars. There's a segment that happened during this section, actually, where he announced that there'll be a battle royale to determine the number one contender for the NXT Championship next week on NXT.
Yeah.
There's one thing that excites me. He says, not all of them are from the same locker room.
Yeah, that was very cool.
He's basically confirmed that TNA stars will be moving over to NXT, and there will be a lot more collaborations, which also might confirm the theory that everybody has been saying, in that Joe Hendry will be appearing in WWE very, very soon, because he got mentioned on Monday Night Raw.
Yeah, absolutely. Well. It's very exciting, isn't it? And also, I presume he alluded as well that we might get maybe some people from SmackDown and some people from Raw as well. It kind of had that feel to it as well. So we could get a nice blend in there of SmackDown, Raw, NXT, and potentially TNA as well, which would be super cool because now we're beginning to see where we can look at those kind of matchups that we thought we'd never get that may now happen, which would be
Yeah.
really, really cool as well. So really exciting times at the moment. But I think Cody, yeah. And Cody again displaying that work rate that he gets from his dad. That like he's out there, he's working Tuesdays, he's working Wednesdays, he's constantly working all the time. He's not going to
Oh,
be
yeah.
that guy that's just the Monday night or the Friday night or whatever it is. So super cool. We will get on to talk about Clash, something that we spoke about last week as well, where we spoke about Cody's title reign felt like it was just ticking boxes, and we said we'd like it somewhat to roll back and stuff like that. So it was like as if we predicted what was going to happen. So we are getting Cody and AJ, but we'll talk about that in the Clash segment and all. But I thought Cody showing up like that was really cool, and I think they should do more of that with champions that are in there and just show up and create that kind of impact. But I thought the little segments that they did were really well put together. And
Yeah,
probably
really
probably
was.
between himself, Triple H, and Shawn was really, really cool the way they put them together. The mask for me was just hilarious. And him taking it out of the brown bag as well was just so cool.
Yeah. The paper bag,
Yeah.
That was just pure gimmick. That was just like, you remember this? There you go.
Yeah, absolutely. He's only sort of breaking out the mirror in the background or something as well, so it was really, really cool. Acers is in, can't wait for Punk Glasgow Riot Heat after Damien Priest retaining the championship. It will be electric.
It will be.
At Acers at TNA pay-per-view on Friday. I know that, can't wait for it. Ian's in, what's the crack, lads? My youngest daughter had my mobile. He was sending me messages earlier. Me and Ian talk all the time. He's long-time friend with the shop and stuff like that, drops in and stuff like that and all. But I was getting a load of these messages on my phone that were getting deleted. His daughter had his mobile. There you go. AEW, WCW. Oh, I tell you. I have to say that Battleground show felt like a WCW show, but a good one, not a bad one. And I would say as well on the top here as well, make sure you check out the second episode of Who Killed WCW. Unbelievable the way it's put together. It's probably one of the best documentaries I've seen structured, and the people that they're using that we haven't heard from in the past, and also really, really cool. Orange Cassidy did really cool spot by balancing the samurai sword above his head without moving. Doesn't that just stink of AEW?
Oh yeah, 100%.
Vic Williams, please God, stop wearing your wear. I'll tell you, winner of the Battle Royal gets championship match a Heat Wave. Yeah, that'd be awesome. The main man might be jumping in chat soon, Niall. I mean, at Mr. Phillips. Oh, cool. Good to have him in there and stuff like that. Yeah, that'd be awesome. Good to have Jamie. We must get Jamie on again as well. Jamie's the man. Tony Khan with some sick bookings he's got in store for you, smart AEW Mark fans.
Oh, yeah, sure. Jesus.
What did you make of that tweet there, that little report that came out last week calling the fans sickos?
I don't even know. Tony Khan's just messing up. There's difference between making a promotion and then actually having a promotion. All you're doing now is just insulting your fans. So there's no point. There's just no point.
I am excited for this. Are you MJF Forbidden Door return? Yeah, definitely.
Well, is it not back yet, or is he doing a match?
He's going to back, but that's probably going to be the return match, I'd imagine, with the build up to it and stuff like that. Yeah, he came out. He was on Dynamite, wasn't he? Came out in the leather jacket and stuff like that, and also.
Yeah.
But, interesting times over there. Right, a little bit of homework for you guys and gals in the chat if you're in there. First of all, I want to know, and you can give us yours as well, Russ. What is your favorite SmackDown logo? I seen this on Twitter the other day, and I thought this would be pretty cool to put out there. I'm of the older generation in this group of lovely people on this podcast and stuff like that. For me, 99 2001 never gets old for me. I love that logo.
I can tend to agree to it. I do tend to agree with that. For me, however, it has to be from 2000. The 2008 2009 one's a really, really close second, but I loved SmackDown Live. I felt like SmackDown Live was such a monument, like a monument for SmackDown, because in the time we had SmackDown Live, we had the AJ Styles title run, we had the brand split, Dean Ambrose becoming world champion, Jinder Mahal becoming world champion for some reason. We had Bray Wyatt, the rise of Bray Wyatt, John Cena's 16th world title run. To me, and to a lot of modern fans, I can assume, SmackDown Live was the start of a better SmackDown. And that from there on, SmackDown's progressively gotten better, I do believe, and it was wiping the floor with Raw, in my opinion. They had a world champion, a really, really good world champion. The storylines weren't the greatest, but anything could beat Brock Lesnar being Universal Champion, and that reign of terror that he had. We had like the Shield get back together in this time as well. It was 2016 to 2019 were a great year for SmackDown. And to me, that's why it's the greatest. But to me, also, it's most nostalgic because I love Dean Ambrose. And him being world champion was probably the greatest decision I've ever made, especially when it comes to every member of the Shield holding it in one night at Money in the Bank 2016. So for me, SmackDown Live, but if you're going to go old school, 2010, 2014. 100%.
Interesting. Yeah, I never really liked the X one, that 2009, 2010.
No.
And that was kind of a period on SmackDown where there was rinse and repeat, same week in, week out kind of stuff and all. So never really enjoyed that time as well. But for me, that old one, that 99, 2001, gives me those cool vibes of looking back at it and stuff like that. Eric is in. Yeah, I've long given up with Tony Khan. I'm almost disappointed MJF didn't go to WWE. Yeah,
He wouldn't have fit.
Mm.
I'm saying it now, right? Unless the only way that MJF can truly fit in WWE is when Raw goes to Netflix. Even still, they would be like, yeah, you can go off and do whatever the fuck you want. No. They'd be monitoring him still because it's still a child-friendly show. Well, it's supposed to be family-friendly. So they'll be like, right, okay, you can limit what you say, but other than that, go nuts. So I think for him right now, it's mainly the creative control that AEW are giving him. That's why he's staying, because his promos are off the chain. But you do it in front of a WWE crowd, in front of people who take the children to go see it, and he's effing and jeffing and saying all this and saying all that, it would cause a lot of lawsuits. That's all I'm saying.
You think?
Yeah, 100%.
I'm not too sure, and we are going to talk about it. They are pushing the envelope slightly, I must say. Go ahead, yeah.
Yeah, well, I was just going to say, they've done something like this before with Edge and Lita. This isn't new to WWE. But MJF is a completely separate thing to the live sex celebration that Edge and Lita did, or the Dom Mysterio storylines that are going on right now. This guy does not care, right? He goes out there, he sends that message, and that's what he does in those promos, and he will play and say whatever the hell he wants to get that message across. That is completely new to WWE because they have never given anybody a chance to say, here's a mic, go off script, do whatever the hell you want. The Edge and Lita thing is the best thing that I can compare this storyline to. What we got with Edge and Lita, it's basically just a repeat with the Liv, Rhea, and Dom triangle.
Yeah.
So many innuendos, it's unreal. So that's why I'm saying, yes, you're correct. They are pushing the envelope in what they can show. However, this isn't something that WWE hasn't done before. MJF is completely different.
Well, last week we did our comparison, remember, between AJ and the heel turn and Mark Henry with the two suits and all. But we also, if you remember, we had Braun Strowman with Alexa doing that exact same spot that Liv and Dom did. I don't know if you've seen the comparisons today on social media. It was really, really cool as well. So really, really cool to see it. The second is probably the more nostalgic one, especially given that being the one I'd associate with the PS2 games. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, true. Like SmackDown, Here Comes the Pain. What a game that is.
Yeah. I always associate the first one kind of with that rock tracksuit era. Remember that rock tracksuit era and the team bringing stuff and all, and probably Kurt Angle as well and stuff like that and all as well, which was really kind of cool. Interesting that Triple H cancelled the live press conference after Clash. A Clash event. Oh, interesting. Cancelled.
Oh, it's cancelled it. That's new.
That's interesting. Must be something about that. That's obviously something's gonna happen. If that's the case.
Oh yeah, because what's gonna happen? what's going to happen is Drew McIntyre is going to win the World Heavyweight Championship. Punk is going to come out in this massive heel turn, beat down Drew McIntyre, and then all of a sudden, all you'll hear is "Say his name," and he appears, and the crowd will go off.
Yeah, absolutely. Or you know, it'd be really cool. Just inject Punk into the match as the special guest referee or something like that. That'd be cool.
Yeah, that would be cool.
Yeah, he has got those Eric Bischoff vibes, except Eric Bischoff is a way more talented mind for wrestling, even at his worst times. Daz is in 2010 first for me. 2010, yeah, not bad. It hasn't changed that much, really. Like, you know, they've stuck, the core of it's pretty much the same, you know.
The only one that you can actually truly see changes is SmackDown Live, because if you look at every other one, they're designed very, very similar. Which I feel like, because look at Raw. Raw's changed a lot. So it's nice to see that they've stuck with the pattern, basically.
Yeah, I think probably the 99 one I like as well, because it looks like some kid did it on paintbrush or something like that as well. So it has a real old school feel to it. Broken Dreams will absolutely insane and incredible during Drew McIntyre's entrance on Saturday night. It absolutely will. The thoughts of Drew McIntyre losing a 2 Clash of the Castles potentially. Imagine that. AEW is the modern day WCW, where the owner is your Eric Bischoff 2.0. You're infatuated with this guy. Infatuated. Acers. Damian Priest isn't losing World Heavyweight Championship until Bash in Berlin against Gunther, unfortunately.
Right. Gunther isn't challenging for the belt at Bash at Berlin. He'll be challenging for it at SummerSlam. I want to clear the air right now. I'm saying it. He's not going to wait till Bash at Berlin. He might go in as champion at Bash in Berlin, but he's not challenging for it at Bash in Berlin. He will challenge for it for SummerSlam, because I'm not being funny. If you want to put Gunther in his first ever world title match, why would you do it at a B show? Also, why would you not want to do it as one of the 4 big shows?
Also, where Gunther might be in the main event at Bash in Berlin, he doesn't necessarily have to have a title involved, just a good storyline. Especially for a show like that. So, yeah, absolutely. Right, next
should be Imperium. An Imperium triple threat match.
Yeah, absolutely. Next up for you guys, a bit more homework here. Found this the other day as well. What was your Attitude Era crush? Who was your girl during the Attitude Era? Let me know in the chat as well. And if there's any ladies in the chat, let me know which guy was your crush if you want. If you were of that persuasion, if you like. Who was yours?
Oh, 100% Lita.
Lita, was it? Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. I'm a guy who likes heavy metal and rock and roll, and Lita looks like she can rock and roll all night, if you know what I mean.
I'd say most of these ladies could have rock and rolled all night, be honest.
Yeah. The only thing that scares me is China.
Yeah.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Just imagine that. Just you're all right.
It'd be a hell of a story. It'd be a hell of a story if you survived the night. That's the only thing. Yeah. Trish was always the one for me. I met Trish a couple of times, but Trish for me was always my gal. But I tell you what I did like. I did have a kind of a crush for Ivory when she was in Right to Censor.
Oh.
I did like her. I thought she was cool. I do have a soft spot for Ivory as well. So yeah, really, really cool and stuff like that. So let's see what we got here. Did we do this one?
Yeah, we did that one.
Yeah, we did that one. So let's get next. Judgment Day interference during SummerSlam. Damian Priest versus Gunther, helping Damian Priest retain.
Ooh.
Okay, interesting angle there. And Kenny's in. Tori Wilson, my daughter, is named after her. Nice. Well done. Acer Sable, no contest. He was the Playboy collector. Good man, Acers. I love it. And Andrew's in. Big up, Andrew. Good buddy of mine. Big Orton fan as well. Can't wait. Go on Friday. So looking forward to it. He's heading over to Clash of the Castle. You will have a blast, my friend. Make sure you check out the signings that are going on as well, folks. Apparently, Bianca Belair is going to be at the Entertainer. And also Smiths are supposed to be doing a double sign as well. Austin Theory on the Friday and the phenomenal AJ Styles on the Saturday. So make sure you check them out and get some merch signed. Well worth doing it. Ian is in. Tony Khan is beneath. Nowhere near the caliber of Eric Bischoff. You're infatuated with this pairing tonight. What's going on with you? Let's talk something else. China for me, Niall. Big up, Daz. I like that. China was your go-to girl. There you go. Daz likes the muscled up chicks. I like it. I
Hey,
like it.
don't get me wrong. Some of them look really good. Just China, no.
Hmm.
I'd rather take Rhea Ripley than China. Put it that way.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So let us know. Let us know your attitude there or crush as well. We thought we'd put that in there to have a bit of fun, of course. Now let's talk. Where will we start? Let's talk Dominic, Liv Morgan,
Oh,
Rhea Ripley in the background, Balor robbing the hotel ticket. Where do you think this is going? I thought the spot the other night was really, really cool.
it was really good.
I have to say as well, Liv Morgan, her character work at the moment is second to none. She's
It
excellent.
truly is. She's truly on a redemption arc. This right now is the run that she should have had when she cashed in her Money in the Bank against Ronda Rousey.
Yeah.
This where she is right now is absolutely fantastic. To me, she's probably one of the highlights of Raw. Right, I'm a big Liv Morgan fan. I cried when she cashed in, and I hated Ronda Rousey so much when she won it back, but she wasn't ready. This right now, Liv Morgan's ready, and she will go far. And to answer your question, all this is leading up to a SummerSlam match or WrestleMania match between Liv Morgan and Rhea Ripley in a custody of Dominic Mysterio match.
Oh my god! Can you imagine? Let's roll it
That
back.
that would be
This is Ray
hilarious.
versus Eddie again, isn't it?
Yeah,
Ray versus Eddie again. Can you imagine? Yeah, it's going to
it
be
would be
very interesting. And you
hilarious.
know something? I love the way the role that Damian Priest has taken on as well, where he's kind of looking at Dominic and going, "Hey kid, do you know what you're at?" and all this kind of thing. Like he's really taken on that father role in the Judgment Day and stuff like that, as well as carrying the strap and everything else as well. And I thought that segment the other night as well, where they were all kind of together, and then Balor just slips in the hand and grabs the
Yeah.
hotel key card. I thought that was so cool as well. So
I
there's
have
so many levels to this at the moment. It's so
I
good.
have a prediction.
Okay.
A couple of years ago, when the Judgment Day were first getting out, it was obviously Rhea, Edge, Damian Priest. There was a six person tag match. Liv, AJ, Finn taking on the Judgment Day. In the build up to that match, Finn Balor said, "We need somebody in Judgment Day to take them out from the inside." Now, magically, we've got Liv Morgan and Finn Balor involved in the Judgment Day. Long term storytelling,
There you go.
or we just taking two pieces that are completely unrelated.
Or is Triple H just really lucky in the way he books things?
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe we're looking too deep into it, but I have to say, for me, this is a huge part of why I tune into the show. I love when they do these kind of storylines, and I just think Liv at the moment is unbelievable at the minute. Like,
She
and
is.
just that I love this image today. We got it off one of the sites today, and just Rhea in the background, kind of really, really cool, quite sinister, really, Fergal, you dirty dog, hotel room key. Yeah, absolutely, 100%.
Hey, look, I'd take it. I'm saying it now,
Mm,
I'd take it.
yeah, absolutely. Right, let's talk. We gotta talk Ricochet, don't we?
Do we have to? Do
I
we
noticed
really have to?
they announced today on Twitter that apparently on Friday he's defending the speed title against Andrade. And now I don't know whether that's someone in social media in WWE has messed up or something like that. I wouldn't have thought he would have been capable. Maybe he's just going to relinquish the belt to Andrade or whatever it is or something like that. But kind of seems a bit weird after what transpired. What did you make of this? Obviously, we had reports a few weeks ago of Ospreay turning around going, how shit WWE were doing in terms of managing this guy and booking him and all this kind of stuff. There's varying views on that, of course. We all know he's an unbelievable wrestler. Heck of a nice guy. Met him a couple of times. Always came across to me as being a little bit shy and a little bit reserved, which you certainly wouldn't expect considering the way he works in the ring and all his style and stuff like
Oh,
that.
yeah.
And all. What did you make of how this is going down? Is this the end for him? Is he going to AEW, or has the Samantha being involved in the ambulance situation really meant it's just kind of storyline open ended? What way do you think it's going to go?
Well, his contract runs out this summer, right? So he's apparently saying he's going to be waiting out his contract and then going somewhere else. A lot of people are predicting AEW. The only thing that I do not like about this entire thing is they have fed him to Bron Breakker. Why? Right? It's his last night in the company, and you're ruling him off in an injury angle where he's just going to walk into AEW. Like, guess what, guys? I'm fine. It's just, I don't know. It doesn't make sense to me. And Will Ospreay, I'm not really a big fan. I like what he does. I'm a big fan of his in-ring work, just as a person. And a lot of people in AEW right now actually constantly shitting on the competition. It's not really good, and the only way that you can actually generate more views is by making a product that's entertaining, not just slander. So if he does go to AEW, he's got a lot of good matchups coming his way. We could have an Adam Cole rematch, which would be amazing. However, I can't say that I'm looking forward to his WWE exit. I'm not looking forward to his AEW debut. That's my 2 cents.
Yeah, it's kind of when you see what's going on over there and stuff like that, especially for some of the bigger talent that have gone over and made that jump and stuff like that. It's kind of it's indifferent to say the least. So it'd be interesting to see that this is kind of potentially where it might go. And especially with Samantha at the moment, because obviously being his fiance, she's doing unbelievable at the moment. She couldn't be doing any better in terms of how her career is going in WWE. So it would seem very, very strange. And it is a difficult one when we talk about Ricochet as well, because I think we spoke about it before as well, that like he's a heck of a talent and a heck of a wrestler, but he just lacks that little bit of substance, those other levels to get you to really dig deep into him and stuff like that,
Yeah.
And he lacks the way in terms of portraying that. I'm sure it's there, and they have to figure out a way of it coming out, because I think these days, especially when you see the way the product and how everything is evolving at the moment, being a really, really good wrestler is just a given. That's what the expectation is. But you have to bring so much more than that now as well. And, some of the stuff he was doing with Logan Paul was really cool as well. And,
Oh, yeah.
Obviously he has great history with Will Ospreay as well. They've had some phenomenal matches. I've witnessed a number of them as well, and they're even better in real life as well. Really, really cool. But it'll be interesting to see what way this goes. Maybe it's a case, maybe he's injured and he needs time off. He might need surgery. I'm not too sure where it goes. But Samantha getting involved at the end there with the ambulance and all leads me to believe there's a bit more on this to run. And I think Bubba Ray alluded to it on Busted Open as well, that maybe Braun Breaker now might start targeting Samantha now in a kind of a bully kind of way and stuff like that and all. And I think the way they're handling Braun Breaker is really, really cool at the moment as well. He's an absolute destroyer.
It really is. You can tell as a Steiner, put it that way. You can tell as a Steiner.
100%, yeah, absolutely. But yeah, Ian's in. If a new kind of attitude era kicks off, all AEW marks can say bye-bye to their beloved promotion right before the social bidding war, if it's ever going to happen. Yeah, we shall see. What are we going to get? Vince showing up on AEW? The name on the contract's McMahon. Imagine. Kenny, if it is the end of Ricochet, they've made Braun look like a beast. Bully Ray had an interesting take on what they could do with Ricochet on Busted Open. Yeah, that was it, Kenny, that I was watching. It was really, really cool. And Bubba Ray has an unbelievable mind for the business. The stuff he comes out with is cool. Really, really good and stuff like that. I kind of get the feeling with Samantha being involved. I get the feeling that this is not the end we've seen of Ricochet in WWE. And I tell you, it would be no harm as well if he went and did a stint back on NXT again, like what Balor did, like what Becky did, and stuff like that, and just kind of reinvent himself again and stuff like that, and all be really cool.
Yeah,
looking forward to seeing Braun Breaker damaged during Money in the Bank match. Oh, good Lord, this lad will be taking lads out left, right, and centre. Sami Zayn is one favourite to win Money in the Bank briefcase in Toronto. If this happens, the pop from the crowd will be electric.
Do we talk about Money in the Bank then, or do we leave it for today?
We'll hold off at the moment. We'll hold off at the moment because we're going to go through Clash and stuff like that, so we don't want to get ourselves too far ahead. But certainly, Sammy in Toronto and Pops is a given. Absolute given. Little bit of news coming out. Supposed to be an announcement this Sunday coming between WWE and Noah. Not sure what that announcement will be yet. My guess it's either talent sharing, talent and all that kind of stuff, or else they might have come to an arrangement. Maybe they're coming under the TKO umbrella. Who knows what's going to happen? But big news there, and especially for the likes of our own LJ Cleary, who's there at the moment and stuff like that. So should be absolutely awesome. Looking forward to that announcement, and it'd be nice to have that kind of Japanese arm to TKO as well and stuff like that as well.
Yeah.
It'll make for some very, very interesting booking and shows. Kenny, how good was Pat McAfee on announcing after Samantha left the building?
Oh yeah, I loved it.
He's unreal. He's unreal. He just gets it, doesn't he? He just gets it.
Yeah, he gets the business. 100%.
Yeah, and he kind of gets it in a way as well where he doesn't give a toss. You know, like it's unreal. Yeah, unreal.
He needs another match. I think he should work another match. He truly deserves one.
It's probably going to happen. There's no doubt about it. Right, let's talk Clash.
Yes, Clash at the Castle.
Let's talk Clash at the Castle. I hope I'm fully updated there. I think I am there or thereabouts.
Yeah, you are. Yeah, there's no matches that have been announced.
I'm missing nothing. Take us through the matches. Take us through your thoughts. Who you think's going to come out on top? I haven't had a latest Samantha's ass is mint. Jesus, Acers. Yeah, take us through it, Russ. What do you think?
Okay, so first thing I just want to say is that I am really, really happy that every match on this card is for a championship.
Yeah.
Right, 100% Clash at the Castle deserves this because the reaction we got last time was at Clash at the Castle was fantastic. And to have the potential for a new champion with every match, that's going to be amazing. And I can't wait to see the crowd's reactions. But for my predictions, we will have 2 new champions and the rest will be retaining. And the new champions will be Chad Gable and Drew McIntyre.
Interesting. Wow. Yeah, I was thinking the other day about this as well. Drew McIntyre losing at 2 Clashes at the Castle would be unforgivable booking from WWE, really.
It'd be unreal, right? Because he finally got the moment at WrestleMania, lost it. And now this should be his moment. They was not going to put the belt on him just yet because Roman was going through a massive transition. So I understand him losing it last time, but this time he needs it. This time he deserves it. He's been carrying not only the World Heavyweight Championship, but the lead up to WrestleMania, and after WrestleMania, he's been carrying that. In my opinion, he's been doing everything that he can, even CM Punk, Seth Rollins. It's been absolutely amazing, and now's the time to give him the belt. Even if he does lose it to Gunther, we can safely say that he's had a run in front of a live crowd. 100% it is deserved. Chad Gable being IC champion, I think that was in his contract. I think they're like, look, you sign this, we're going to make sure that you win. You are definitely winning, which would be amazing because he deserves it. The only thing is that the Alpha Academy needs to change. I think that's it. I think they've run the course. He's done. Cody Rhodes versus AJ Styles. That better not be the main event. Well, the main event needs to be Priest versus McIntyre. If they put Cody in that main event, I'm not going to be a big fan. This is Priest type. This is Priest and McIntyre's time to shine.
This is 2 things I'm really interested in to see what way they structure the card. We've spoken about this before, how you need to get the crowd going with a real good match in the beginning. Then you kind of soften it out and then you raise it up again. So be interesting to see what way they structure the card. The other thing, and I'm going to shout it out now on this podcast for any of our Scottish viewers or anyone heading over, do not let that Backlash crowd out, do you? Make sure all you guys show up with full lungs and plenty of energy drinks in you and all that kind of stuff, because you got to outdo that Backlash crowd, that's for sure. And that's going to be difficult to do.
I want to hear it from Leeds. I want to hear Kingdom being sung. Yeah. Right? Come on. We've got this.
Yeah,
right?
absolutely.
We've got this.
100%. Yeah, I think it's and as Kenny said there, love the new less is more look on the PLEs, quality over quantity. Yeah, look, we got it with NXT with the takeovers. Remember, the quality
Hmm.
was so high, and you got your 2 or 3 hour show, you got your 5 or 6 matches, really, really good. But I like that. I like that everyone gets their time, everyone gets their bid in, everyone looks like a star, everyone comes out of it looking strong. It's nearly a heart back nearly to what they did originally with the In Your House series and stuff like that. So
So,
really, really good. Spot on, Kenny. Yeah.
yeah, so if you was to book this show and have these matches, what match would you put on first?
Do you know something? I'd probably put on Cody and Styles.
Ooh,
I'd knock it out of the park straight away. I'd ratchet up that volume on the crowd straight away and get it going. Kick it straight away.
you see, for me, I would put Gable versus Gable and Sami Zayn. I would put that first
Mm,
because to me, if you look at all the other matches that you've got going on, the only matches to me and what I've seen personally that would generate just as much, if not more, heat than that match is both world title matches. So to me, we need to have a good match to start off with, a middle match which will be really good, and then a main event which will be
mm,
fantastic. The main
yeah.
event will be Priest versus McIntyre. That middle match should be Cody versus AJ, and then either have like the women's match second to last, or have the tag team one. Because to me right now, the tag team one's not really that good. I don't really know the heat behind it. Um, Bailey versus Piper Niven is just Scottish people. There you go, match.
Mm,
But yeah, heat, calm the crowd down. Heat, uh, calm it down a little bit. Massive heat.
mm,
I went to a show. It was my final wrestling live event here in Leeds. Went to a show, and this is how important structure is. We had for the second to last match, Jeff Hardy taking on what's it called? Riddick Moss. Drew McIntyre came in, interfered, made it a 2-on-2. Jeff Hardy and Drew McIntyre versus Happy Corbin and Riddick Moss. And that match blew the roof off the place. Everybody loved it, and you couldn't hear us louder. The next match after that was Charlotte Flair versus Sasha Banks for the SmackDown Women's Championship. There has never been a more disinterested crowd. Structure is important in a show like this.
yeah, it really is.
I was so
Mm,
bored after that because I wasted all my energy on that because that should have been the main event. The
mm,
crowd reactions were amazing.
mm,
So
yeah.
that's just my experience of really, really bad structuring.
Yeah, well, we spoke about it. Remember when we spoke about WrestleMania and we spoke about night one versus night two and how night
Oh
one was
yeah.
kind of a bit kind of disjointed and night two just flowed and was a really, really good night and stuff like that and all. So structure is massive in these things and all. Kenny's in Punk could cost Drew possibly while sporting a Celtic shirt. Yeah, did you see
Oh
the
no.
did you see the reaction to the Rangers shirt, the one that's done the Clash of the Castle one, like the Rangers jersey and stuff like that and all? It was getting serious heat online the other day and stuff like that.
Oh
No,
god.
yeah, absolutely. Niall Road Warriors World of Sport, yeah, absolutely. Drew McIntyre versus Punk doesn't need title.
I
Um,
agree, but it
mm,
does not need to be done at a B pay-per-view. It needs to be at a big one. I'm
yeah, it'll be
saying,
interesting.
yeah, I'm not saying WrestleMania. I'm saying SummerSlam.
Good man, O'Shane. That's what I want to hear. That's what I want to hear. I want to see people on Monday and Tuesday when they come home and on next week's show when we're reviewing it having no voice at all.
Oh hell yeah.
Scotland will be complete hangover after Euros night before, yeah.
Oh
So
Jesus.
what a weekend for Scotland, isn't it? The
Oh
Euros on Friday
yeah.
against Germany, Clash at the Castle on Saturday. Like, what more would you want? Absolutely. Bailey versus Piper must start. I don't
Mm,
know. I think if you want to get that crowd going and listen, Piper will get a great reaction. Bailey
yeah.
always does as well. But that to me feels like that builder builder match coming into the latter stages of this, I think. But it'll be interesting to see who gets it right and wrong and stuff like that, and also. But yeah, it's a good one. 5 matches, really, really enjoyable, and for us guys, who review these things, such an easy review to do as well. You know what I mean?
100%, yeah.
I'm not going through 12 matches and 2 hours of a kickoff show and all this kind of stuff. I normally. Do you think there's another match unannounced?
Yes.
Yeah, there would be. Yeah, they normally do something like a dark match or something like that, something in relation to the kickoff or something like that, I would imagine.
No, I think they're going to add one more card onto it. I think they're going to add one more match onto it, and it will be either LA Knight versus Carmelo Hayes or Kevin Owens versus a member of the Bloodline.
Interesting. There was talk going around of LA Knight versus Logan Paul, but I don't think they're going to drop that onto this card somehow.
No, that'll be SummerSlam. And then that's when LA Knight will finally get his US title.
Not too sure if they do a match on the pre-show or not. They haven't in recent times and stuff like that, but we shall see. It'll definitely be interesting to see. So that's your predictions. You're going with Chad and you're going with Drew. What's your predictions in the other ones? You're going Bailey retain?
Yeah, I'll retain apart from the IC belt and the World Heavyweight belt.
Interesting. Two title changes on a Clash of the Castle. Really good. Kevin Owens versus Solo will be on SmackDown this Friday. Interesting. And then, of course, they'd probably have to go some sort of a false count anywhere or something like that, wouldn't it? Card would be too stacked with LA and Logan. Yeah, I think it'd be too much for it. Absolutely. KO versus Solo should happen to pay homage to Clash 1. Yeah. Not a bad shout. Good shout. Real good shout, actually. Nice one, O'Shane. I like that. LA Knight versus Logan Paul set for Money in the Bank US Championship. Not too upset at that at all. That's a good one. Absolutely. With Austin Theory being in town, are we going to get a Grayson Waller effect on it or anything like that? Or maybe that might be the thing that they add to it if they don't add a match. Because I know that takes up quite a bit of time as well when they're doing that and stuff. I know Theory is scheduled to do the signing in Smith's on the Friday, so if he's over there, they're doing SmackDown as well, of course. So maybe it's just from that point of view and stuff like that.
So what I see from this, right? If you are true in what you're saying, where there'll be like a segment, like I don't know, halfway through the show, right, and like a mid match, that'll be a perfect way to introduce a secret guest character, right? Somebody who might not be advertised. And then just out of nowhere, just be like, please welcome my guest at this time. Joe Hendry comes on. I'm thinking of all the ways I can introduce Joe Hendry. I'm not even lying. I need Joe Hendry.
Yeah, and I don't think people should sleep on Clash of the Castle as well, because if you remember at the last one, we got the Dominic turn and lots of stuff happened. Tyson Fury knocking Austin Theory out and all sorts of stuff was happening at it and stuff, so it was don't sleep on it and all. Maybe who knows, Uncle Howdy or something like that. What the hell is going on there? So anything could happen at the moment with it, know. But yeah, really, really tidy card and looks a real enjoyable card to watch as well. So really looking forward to it. So, and we'll be doing our review, of course, next week of it and stuff like that, and talking everything else and stuff like that. What else have we got? We're going to take a bit of history, I think, now. Unless you've anything you want to add.
Not really. I'm just more a case of I'm looking forward to the TNA crossover. Oh, actually, fantasy booking's gone, obviously. Massive because of the TNA crossover. Do you think this Survivor Series we could get a fatal 4-way? The World Heavyweight, the Undisputed, NXT, Impact World Champion.
Yeah, it'd be interesting, all right, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it would.
Yeah.
They should just slide it in like they did with NXT back in 2019.
Yeah.
That's what they should do.
Yeah. Or they could even go, if they want to go Survivor Series, they could go Team TNA versus Team WWE and do it maybe book a decent invasion angle for a change. Bring in this TNA group that are kind of like the Nexus or something like that, which would be pretty cool as well.
That'll be really good. But we could also get Dolph Ziggler back as Nick Nemeth and actually have something be done with him.
Yeah, he's due over here for Scrappermania. Actually, he's on it, and Danhausen as well. So that'll be
Danhausen.
interesting. Yeah,
Jesus.
interesting. Right, bit of history. 1983. We spoke about this one before. It was on the Harley Race Dark Side of the Ring. For the first time in 631 days, the NWA World Heavyweight Championship changed hands when Harley Race defeated Ric Flair in the 2 out of 3 falls in St. Louis, Missouri. 2 falls to 1, of course, the way you should book a 2 out of 3 falls. 2003, thought I'd put a bit of NWA in here, TNA. At an NWA TNA weekly pay-per-view taping in Nashville, Tennessee, AJ Styles defeated Jeff Jarrett and Raven in a 3-way match to win the NWA World Heavyweight Championship for the first time. So I thought I'd put that in there because we got the AJ Styles and we got the TNA stuff going on. So sometimes when a lot of this stuff is going on, I like to sort of work the history around that as well because it's
Yeah,
kind of relevant as
it's all
well. So
going in a circle.
yeah, it fits in it. It's my way. It's my way of structuring like a pay-per-view. 2006, WWE presented ECW One Night Stand at the Hammerstein Ballroom in New York. 2,460 fans at ringside. And we had Rod Van Dam defeated John Cena in Extreme Rules match to win the WWE Championship. It was absolutely crazy.
It was. That was an amazing night.
Yeah, and then remember the shirt getting thrown out and then they were throwing it back at him and all. That might have been 05, I'm not too sure, but yeah, it was just so cool. They kept on throwing it out and they kept on throwing it back. It was brilliant.
Yeah.
If Cena wins, be riot. Yeah. 2005, they presented the ECW One Night Stand pay-per-view from the Ballroom again in New York City. The show marked the revival of the ECW brand for the first time since the company fell into bankruptcy in 2001. Now, where are we? 2014, WWE announced the release. This is Drew was talking about this actually on socials today. This big announcement where they released a load of talent. Remember, Drew got released, Jinder Mahal got released, to name but a few and stuff like that. And it's mad, isn't it, when you think about it? 10 years later to this day, this week, and Drew made the point that he was released, and this week he's the headliner. And it's so cool, you know. Really, really cool to see that dynamic in that decade, really, you know.
Well, if you think about it, a lot of people who've been released go and make the name for themselves where they have no choice but to come back. And they're massive. I mean, not really Jinder Mahal. Jinder Mahal was just brownie points, I suppose. But like Drew McIntyre, Finn Balor, Cody Rhodes is the biggest example, right? All those names have went off, made names for themselves, come back, and now look at them, world champion, or they're competing for world championships. They've truly done an amazing job.
Yeah, absolutely. 1982, the High Chief Peter Maivia, the grandfather of Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, passed away at the age of 45 from a long cancer battle. Very sad, so young. 1993, WWE presented the first ever King of the Ring pay-per-view from the Nutter Center in Dayton, Ohio. The centerpiece of the show was an 8-man tournament to crown the King of the Ring after 3 classic matches against Razor Ramon, Mr. Perfect, and Bam Bam Bigelow. Bret Hitman Hart was declared the winner. Also, we had Yokozuna defeating Hulk Hogan for the WWF Championship, and it would be Hogan's last televised bout in the company until 2002. So quite a significant event. 2009, Vince McMahon announces that he sold, if you remember this, he sold Monday Night Raw to Donald Trump. And then there was massive backlash out of this. Because McMahon hadn't made it clear that it was a storyline, the WWE stock fell from $13.13 to $12.60 within a day of the announcement and would carry on falling for the rest of the week until the company made it clear Trump hadn't really bought the show, which was kind of fun and stuff like that. And just goes to show sometimes the naivety of it, because if you do want to do a sale and you are publicly quoted, you have to give the stock exchange, I think, something like 30 days notice.
Yeah.
Or something like that. So something crazy because of the insider trading and all that kind of stuff. But sometimes this week as well was also the week, remember when McMahon blew up in the limousine?
Yeah.
I seen that out there as well. I didn't have it in here, but I seen it out there. We'll take some comments and then I'll come back for the notable birthdays.
Gotcha.
So where we KO should pay homage. LA Knight, we did that one. Where are we?
We're at Austin Fanning. The one below Aces.
this one first, isn't it? There is where a new Bloodline member gets introduced, but costs Kevin Owen victory. Yeah, interesting. They're bringing in the last member of God, aren't they?
Yeah, they are.
Interesting. I think the OC interferes to help AJ, and Jey Uso interferes to help Cody in the I Quit match.
Okay, long shot. If the OC interfere to help AJ, and Jey Uso comes out to help Cody, Jimmy Uso should come out and help Cody. Hear me out. Jimmy Uso's officially been kicked out of the bloodline. This might be a good way to reintroduce him back into the scene, but not make him part of the bloodline. So Jay's on his own with Raw. Make Jimmy go on his own on SmackDown. Two of the brothers, single stars. If the mid-card champion by Survivor Series, I don't know, Jimmy's got the US and Jay's got the Intercontinental, we can have a decent brother versus brother match, which will be the first time it's ever happened at Survivor Series when they're both champions.
It's an interesting array of talent to bring to Scotland, isn't it? The Clash at the Castle. That's a lot of talent there to be bringing across.
There is.
It should be interesting. Yeah, but listen, Clash is where sometimes it happens.
Yeah.
Acers is in. SmackDown is live on Friday at 7 p.m. before the Euros at 8. What a Friday evening. What more would you want? We are spoiled. Spoiled we are. If you're a football fan and a wrestling fan, we are spoiled. 60 quid to meet Danhausen isn't great from OTT. I'll happily pay that for Ziggler. You'll find that the 60 quid that's being charged is not necessarily OTT. Danhausen ain't cheap in any stretch of the imagination.
No,
and
he's
he
not.
is seriously people are crazy for him, especially stateside, and anyone involved in the comic book area or any of that kind of stuff know how popular Danhausen is. We sell out of his shirts all the time, and not necessarily to wrestling fans. Ian's in, any scoop on the Road Warriors World of Sport? Oh, you're loving this tonight. I thought you were going to bring up the launch of the Lex Express in '93. I was going to include it, but I only have so much page room and I have to prioritize certain things. And I think leaving out the launch of the Lex Express was probably okay in most people's eyes. Who do you think will be in the bloodline next? Well, we would assume that that third member of the Gorillas of Destiny is going to go in there. That's for sure.
Isn't that Jacob Fatu, if I'm not mistaken?
No, it's not him. Is it the other guy? Am I right in thinking? I can't remember his name. His name escapes me now, but I don't think. I think Jacob Fatu was probably going to end up on the other bloodline. I think he's going to go with Roman and the boys.
Yeah,
unless I'm wrong now. Maybe I'm wrong, but I think it's a different guy. I'm not too sure. The name escapes me.
Yeah, I forget who it is, but I know somebody's coming on.
Yeah. Absolutely. So, notable birthdays for this week. Speaking of which, Mark Henry, 1971. A guy who I was a huge fan of. Jerry Lynn, 1963.
Jerry Lynn.
What a wrestler Jerry Lynn is. Jungle Boy, 1997. Jack Perry. Bailey, 1989. Sometimes I wonder what these do. The women wrestlers bother us talking about the years and stuff like that and all. Sometimes I'm not too sure. A guy who I was also a fan of, Chuck Palumbo, 1971. Remember Billy and Chuck and all that cool stuff with Billy Gunn was class. Brad Armstrong, 1961. And we finish it with Scott Norton, 1958. That is your notable birthdays for this week. So there we go. Acers is in. The Lex Express is coming 4th of July. Yokozuna body slam. Good Lord. So that's it. Anything else to
add? No.
All good. Right, folks, that's it. Another show in the bag. Just on the hour as well. So perfect timing like these shows. That's how me and Russ do it here. Single hour in there, hit the ground running, give you everything you want, bring you up to speed on everything that's pro wrestling. So if you could subscribe to the channel, hit the bell notification button, drop a like on the video. Over to you, Russ. Tell people where they find you, what you're doing this week, what's happening on Twitch, games, whatever you're doing. That's cool.
Okay, so coming up for you this week on my Twitch, www.minikebaboverlord. www.twitch.tv/miniclub Tomorrow is the anniversary of Dead by Daylight, which is a horror game. If you're into horror and you like, third party stuff like Ghostface, Chucky, Leatherface, you should totally come on in and give me a follow if you can't already. This Friday, we have a quiz coming up on the JSY Talks Football fan channel. And then Saturday will be my Clash at the Castle watch along on the same channel. So be sure to come and pay tribute and also say hi. Jess is a really, really nice lass. Aside from that, you know where to find me. www.twitch.tv/minikebab overlord. Live Tuesdays, Thursdays, and potentially Fridays, but there's usually a schedule anywhere on the channel.
Awesome. So make sure you're going over there to Russ and giving them all your love and support during these shows and stuff like that. They take a bit of effort and stuff like that. So make sure you're showing your support. Who do you think Uncle Howdy will face? I have no idea what way this is all going to come out. And I think that's why they're pacing it the way they are, to get a feel for what way they think it might go. I've no idea at the moment. Any thoughts on it? We'll keep on going. Dazzler 10 Hag reaction. Yeah, we got the 10 Hag reaction will be tomorrow night. We'll be on your screens at 9 o'clock, myself and Darren, for Thursday. It won't be Thursday tier talk, but kind of a mixture of beat the bookie for the Euros. We'll be talking about 10 Hag and everything in between. Kenny is in. Top show as always.
Thank you very much.
We are over and out, folks. That's it from me and from Russ. Another great show this week, folks. I will talk to you tomorrow night at 9 o'clock. Russ will catch you over on Twitch. And don't forget to check out his watch along as well for Clash of the Castle and everything in between. And we will be back next week again with everything pro wrestling related. Until next time, folks, have a safe week. And we'll talk to you again real soon. Cheers, Russ.
Thank you. I'll see you guys in a bit.